Want to know a simple hack that anybody can follow to dramatically improve their energy levels and reduce their cravings?
God, I love simple hacks. I'm sure he's going to be talking about sleeping 7 to 9 hours, eating a lot of nutrient-dense food, managing stress, not having too much caffeine, not having it too close to bedtime. You know, really good stuff, good hacks like that, I'm sure.
Next time you're about to sit down for a meal, grab a tall glass of water and drip a little bit of vinegar. It can be any type of vinegar, just not balsamic vinegar, and drink it before the meal. This will decrease the glucose spike of the meal you're about to eat by up to 30%.
Damn her accent, because that shit sounded convincing. So there's actually some research that does support what she just said. There's some that doesn't. Usually it's apple cider vinegar reducing the postprandial or after eating blood glucose response to a meal. I'm not really sure where she's getting the 30% marker, but we'll roll with a quick example. Now let's say you ate a large meal of just carbs, which is rare, and your blood sugar went from, let's say, 90 up to 170, so it increased by 80 points. Now let's say you had your magic little drip of apple cider vinegar or whatever vinegar, just not balsamic vinegar, before you had the meal, and it reduced the blood sugar spike, again, generously, by 30%. Instead of your blood sugar peaking at 170, it would now peak at 156. If you heard that and you thought, who cares? I'm sure she'll tell us.
It means less inflammation from the meal, less weight gain from the meal, and most importantly, less cycle of cravings in the afternoon. You'll feel less tired after eating. You won't have that 3 p.m. like, ooh, I want to eat a cookie kind of feeling.
So let's go through those real quick. Less inflammation from the meal. Let's be straight. Chronic low-level inflammation is a big deal. Acute inflammatory responses to a single meal are not. This is another example of taking an acute physiological response and trying to extrapolate it into long-term health outcomes. You know what else acutely raises inflammatory markers? Exercise. If you want to avoid the negative health outcomes of low-level chronic inflammation, which is probably a good idea, it's not about trying to keep postprandial blood glucose as low as possible. It's about living an overall healthy lifestyle. Exercise, lift weights, be active, don't eat too many calories, don't have too much excess body fat, sleep enough, hydrate, don't smoke, manage your stress, all that good stuff. If you want to avoid the negative outcomes of inflammation, it's not about managing these acute responses. It's about living an overall healthy, overall anti-inflammatory lifestyle. Now, for my favorite claim.
Less weight gain from the meal.
You heard that correctly. Let's play it back.
Less weight gain from the meal. Less weight gain from the meal. Less weight gain from the meal.
Less weight gain from the meal. You don't gain weight from one meal, just like you don't lose weight from one meal. You're in a constant state of energy flux, calories coming in, calories coming out. Gaining or losing weight is about energy balance over time, not a single meal. Funny enough, that's actually beside her point. She's not talking about calories. She's saying the blood sugar response from the meal has something to do with the amount of body fat that you'll gain, which is been debunked maybe a gazillion times. This line of logic is obviously coming from somebody who wants to sell you their 27-day carb cleanse or their book on keto so that they can fix you. Now let's do this last one.
And most importantly, less cycle of cravings in the afternoon. You'll feel less tired after eating. You won't have that 3 p.m. like, ooh, I want to eat a cookie kind of feeling.
So the first thing that she's talking about is postprandial somnolence, which is basically that feeling of tiredness or that food coma feeling that you feel after you eat a large meal. Mostly comes down to the caloric density of the meal or the total calories in the meal, not how much your blood sugar goes up after a meal. And for this second part, I think it's a little disingenuous to assume something so complex as cravings or energy levels is going to be meaningfully affected by something like this. Keto low-carb people often want to blame this afternoon slump on you had too many carbs. That's really not how it works. There are lots of reasons that your energy in the afternoon sucks, and reducing your blood glucose response to a meal by 24 points, best case scenario, isn't fixing shit. You want less cravings and better energy? Sleep enough, don't have too much caffeine, don't have it too close to bedtime, eat nutrient-dense meals, eat enough calories consistently, exercise regularly, get outside regularly, manage your stress, and don't adopt a good or bad food mentality. And if after all that you want to drip a little apple cider vinegar in your water before a meal, go nuts! But always beware of somebody who's trying to make a complex topic out to be something that they can fix with their simple hack.